Good morning, 7th grade. Mr. Hale here. I hope you and your family are well. You guys turned in your paper packets yesterday. Thank you for doing that. It's going to take me a bit of time to get those graded, and I don't want to move on to new material until we are sure that you guys have done, that you guys understand the probability stuff that we're working on. We're also, this week, trying out something new, doing everything online using Microsoft OneNote. So, I want to go over and review some things that you guys have done previously, and then give you some extra practice. That way it's locked a little more strongly in your head, and if there are any issues with your online work, it's review stuff, not new stuff, and that review stuff is a little easier to fix, if you make. Good morning, 7th grade. Mr. Hale here. I hope you and your family are well and that you had a nice weekend, hopefully staying at home, washing your hands. I know that's what I did. You guys turned in your paper packets yesterday, and it's going to take me a few days before I'm able to grade them all, and I don't want to move on to new material until I have those things graded. Also, this is the first day that we're doing things online using OneNote, and just in case there are some technical issues, I don't want to get into new material on the possibility that some people may not be able to access it. So this week, we're going to work on reviewing some of the same things we talked about last week. A, to make sure it's more strongly in your head, and B, to make sure all of our technical issues work out. So this that you can see on your screen is the worksheet that was in your packet. We're only going to work on this. Hold on, let me get my pen up here. Nice and red. We're only going to worry about this block today, simple probabilities. I'm going to go over the answers with you, and then I'm going to talk about what you need to do for your homework assignment. Okay, so we have a bag. It has a bunch of marbles in it, 60 marbles specifically. 15 of them are black, 12 of them are white, 10 of them are red, 6 of them are blue, 5 of them are green, and 2 of them are yellow. What is P white in simplest fractional form? Remember, P stands for probability. That means we're going to have a fractional answer, and that's reiterated by saying simplest fractional form here. The probability we want is how likely is it that we're going to pull out a white marble. Okay, it's always a good idea to start with our denominator. We know there are 60 marbles in the bag, so our denominator is going to be 60. How many of them are white? We know from the description that 12 of them are white, so that's going to be the numerator. So our probability is going to be 12 out of 60. Can that be simplified? Well, they're both even. 60 divided by 2 is 30. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Now I got 6 out of 30. Those are both even. Eventually, what we know this can be simplified by is 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1. And 60 divided by 12 is 5. All right, let's move on to number 2. What is the probability of blue as a percentage? Now, I threw this at you on this sheet. We didn't really talk about how to do this specifically in our lessons last week. But we did talk about how to go from fractions to percentages last year in 6th grade. Let's go over how to do this problem. Once again, we have a 60 marble bag. That's our denominator. 6 of them are blue, so that's our numerator. What we need to do here, if you think back to 6th grade, is we need to do this as a proportion, because a percentage is just a special type of fraction that has 100 on the bottom. So we can set this up like this. All right, think back to 6th grade. How do we solve for the missing value in a proportion? We multiply our diagonal. 6 times 100 gives us 600. And then we divide that multiplication result, that product, by the number we haven't used yet, which is 60. 600 divided by 60, that's going to give us 10. So our percentage answer to number 2 was 10%. The number on the top becomes the number here. The 100 turns into the percentage symbol. Another color switch, because you guys know I like to use different colors. What are the odds of pulling a green in simplest rational form? So remember, odds are something that we can figure out by first finding the probability as a fraction and then converting that to a ratio. Let's start out the same way we did up top. We know our denominator is 60 because there's 60 marbles in the bag. How many of them are green? We know that 5 of them are green. Okay. Now, let's simplify that. What can divide both 5 and 60? Both of those can be divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So what will our odds be? Remember that we want losers on the left and winners on the right. Well, how many ways are there to win? That's our numerator, 1. If there are 12 total possibilities, and one of them is a winner, all the rest have to be losers. 12 minus 1 is 11. So our odds of pulling a green are 11 to 1. All right, let's jump down to our second set of problems. This time we have a 30-sided die, and yes, those exist. I have a couple of them in the classroom. It's numbered from 1 through 30. What is the probability of rolling a multiple of 4? And we want it as a fraction. A multiple of 4 between 1 and 30. So we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28. So we're going to have 30 total possibilities. That's our denominator. And of those 30 possibilities, we win if we get a multiple of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is a prime number, so this can't be simplified. The probability of rolling a multiple of 4 on a 30-sided die is 7 out of 30. Number 5, what are the odds of rolling a factor of 30? Okay, so we're going to start off by doing a fraction. We know the denominator is 30. It's the worst 3 I've ever drawn, but we're going to go with it. Of those 30 possibilities, we need to figure out how many of those are factors of 30. Remember, factors are the numbers you can multiply together to get 30. So we have 1 times 30. We can do 2 times 15. We can do 3 times 10. Not 4. We can do 5 times 6. I think that's it. So out of the 30 possibilities, we win if we get a 1, a 30, a 2, a 15, a 3, a 10, a 5, or a 6. That's 8 possible winners. Well, 8 and 30 are even, so can we simplify? Yes. We can do 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 30 divided by 2 is 15. Can't simplify that any farther, so let's turn this into odds. That means we're going to do a ratio. Losers on the left, winners on the right. We know there are 4 ways to win. And out of 15 possibilities, 4 are winners, so all the rest must be losers. 15 minus 4 is 11. So our odds of rolling a factor of 30 on a 30-sided die are 11 to 4. one more color change here. Let's use one I haven't used ever before. Let's go with maroon. This time we want the probability of rolling a prime number, but we want it as a percentage. So let's start out as our fraction. We know that there are 30 possible results because it's a 30-sided die. And we want a prime number. So let's think back to 6th grade. What are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, I'm going to run out of room, 23, and 29. Those are our prime numbers less than 30. How many of those are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we win by rolling a prime number, we win 10 different ways. 10 out of 30, well, we cut away those zeros, it becomes 1/3. And 1/3 is one of those fractions that you should remember, you should memorize what percentage it turns into. 1/3 turns into 33.3 repeating percent. 1/3 and 33.3% are the same thing. So there are our answers from the previous time we went over this material. On the homework section of OneNote, you are going to have two very similar sets of problems. They're not identical. I've changed them, but it's only 6 problems. I would like to see you get those 6 problems finished by tomorrow, though because we're all learning how to use OneNote, at the end of the day, as long as you get it done by the end of this week. That was a weird statement. All the assignments are due by the end of this week, but I would recommend, so that you can keep up with the lessons that are happening tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, you try to get these 6 problems done by tomorrow. Again, the 6 problems on OneNote are not the same as these 6. They're close, but I changed the numbers around a little bit. Try to have those done by Tuesday. As always, do your best. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Stay at home as much as possible. I hope I get to see you soon. Bye.